Gabby's Dollhouse is an American animated children's television series created by Monique Bledel. It follows a little girl named Gabby and her pet, a cat named Pandy, who go on adventures in a magical dollhouse. Sure! In the show, Gabby has an active imagination and often plays pretend, creating stories and situations in her mind. Her adventures take her through the different rooms of the dollhouse, where she meets a variety of colorful characters and learns new lessons about friendship, teamwork, and other important topics. The show also incorporates music, dance, and puppetry elements to create an immersive and engaging viewing experience. Hey everyone, I just uploaded a video on YouTube called Gabby's Dollhouse, How It All Began, which is a fan-made episode that tells the backstory of how Gabby's Dollhouse started before the actual series aired. The video takes you through Gabby's journey from being an ordinary girl to becoming a magical adventurer in her own dollhouse. It's an exciting tale full of twists and turns, so check it out and let me know what you think. You're right. The video I made was just the beginning of the story. In my next video, I'm going to take it even further back in time to explore the origins of the series. I'm going to reveal how the magical dollhouse came to be. Stay tuned for more details and make sure to subscribe to my channel so you don't miss out on this exciting new chapter. Oh my goodness, I just realized that this is the next video I was planning to make. I guess my mind must have wandered off while I was talking to everyone. Okay, let's start with Miss Cakepot and Mr. Cat. Miss Cakepot is a kind and compassionate woman who loves to cook delicious treats for her friends and family. Her husband, Mr. Cat, is a fun-loving feline who loves to play games and make people laugh. Together, they run a popular bakery called The Sweetest Things, which is known for its delicious treats and warm atmosphere. One day, Miss Cakepot and Mr. Cat had a big idea. What if they could create a magical dollhouse for children to play in? You're right. Miss Cakepot and Mr. Cat were inseparable. They spent countless hours together in their little dollhouse, creating new adventures and exploring the world around them. Their love for each other was so strong that they decided to take their relationship to the next level and get married. After getting married, they decided to expand their dollhouse and invite other children to come play with them. They wanted to create a safe and welcoming space where children could explore their imaginations and make new friends. Oh, you're right. Miss Cakepot was so excited to tell everyone the news. She and Mr. Cat were going to be parents. Their baby would be the first addition to their family, and they couldn't wait to meet their little one. The dollhouse was about to get a lot more crowded and chaotic, but that just made it even more exciting. They couldn't wait to see what kind of adventures their baby would have in this magical world they had created. That's right. Miss Cakepot and Mr. Cat were so overjoyed when their babies were born. Cakey was a cute little cupcake boy with rainbow sprinkles, and Sally was a sweet little human girl with blonde hair and white skin. They decided to name their son Cakey because of his cute appearance and his love for sugary treats. And Sally's name was chosen because of her love for the color blue. They were the perfect addition to the family, and they couldn't wait to see what kind of adventures they would have in their magical dollhouse. As parents, Miss Cakepot and Mr. Cat were committed to providing the best possible environment for their children. They taught them important lessons about kindness, compassion, and understanding. And they always encouraged them to follow their dreams. Miss Cakepot and Miss Cat were devoted to their children, and they loved them unconditionally. Their little dollhouse was full of laughter, love, and happiness. Despite being a happy and loving family, the Cakepots did face some challenges along the way. For example, Cakey and Sally were very different in terms of their personalities and interests. Cakey was very outgoing and adventurous, while Sally was more introverted and preferred to stay inside the dollhouse. It took some time for them to learn how to get along and appreciate each other's differences. But with their parents' guidance and support, Cakey and Sally were able to form a strong bond and become best friends. One day, Cakey and Sally's lives were turned upside down when their parents were taken away by intruders. It was a shocking and heartbreaking moment that left the two children feeling lost and alone. They didn't know what to do without their parents, and they were scared for their own safety. It was a devastating time for them, and they had no idea how they were going to get through it. After their parents were taken away, Cakey and Sally were left with no one to take care of them or the dollhouse. They were forced to fend for themselves, and they realized that they needed to take on a new responsibility: looking after the dollhouse. Cakey and Sally were determined to keep the dollhouse safe and to carry on the legacy of their parents. They were just children themselves, but they knew they had to step up and be brave. "We need to be brave, Sally. We can't let anyone take away what our parents worked so hard to build. We have to keep the dollhouse safe and protect it from any harm." "I know, Cakey, but we're just kids." "We have to try, Sally. Our parents left us this dollhouse because they believed in us. They knew we could do it. We just have to believe in ourselves too." As the years passed by, Cakey and Sally grew into adults and continued to live in the dollhouse. They were now old enough to take care of themselves and the dollhouse, and they had learned a lot from their parents about how to be responsible and kind. They continued to keep the dollhouse a safe and welcoming place for children to play, and they were always happy to share their stories with visitors. Even though they missed their parents dearly, they were grateful for the legacy that had been left behind and the memories they had created together. 1 month later, Sally realized that she was finally ready to have children of her own. She was so excited and nervous at the same time. She knew that being a parent was a big responsibility, but she felt like she was ready for the challenge. She began practicing pregnancy by reading books, talking to other parents, and learning everything she could about raising children. She was determined to be the best mother she could be, and she couldn't wait to meet her little one. Even though they were still missing their parents, Sally and Cakey decided to invite their relatives to the dollhouse. They were grateful for the support and love that they received from their extended family, and they wanted to share their happy news with them. Their relatives were so excited to see them and to meet the new baby. They brought gifts and well wishes. It was a special day for everyone, and it was a reminder of how much love and happiness the dollhouse had brought to so many people. Family member 1: "We're so excited for you, Sally. This is such wonderful news." Family member 2: "And how are you feeling about the pregnancy, Cakey?" "I'm feeling a little nervous, but also excited. I know that being a parent is going to be a big challenge, but I'm ready to take it on." Family member 3: "I'm sure you'll be a great mother, Sally." Sally gave birth to 2 beautiful children, a boy and a girl. The girl was half cat, with cyan skin and a shimmering mermaid tail. They were both very special children, and they brought so much joy and laughter to the dollhouse. Sally and Keiki decided to name their son Daniel James Catnip. In the future, he would be known as DJ Catnip. They both had very special names that reflected their unique personalities and heritage. They were both adorable and lovable children who brought so much joy and happiness to their parents and their relatives. It was a happy time for Sally and Keiki as they continued to have children year after year. They had a car cat named Carlita, a pillow cat named Pillow Cat, and a fairy cat named Kitty Fairy. Each child was unique in their own way and brought a new dynamic to the family. They all lived happily together in the dollhouse, making memories and creating new adventures. Their family memories were filled with laughter and joy. They took trips to the beach, went swimming in the pool, and had picnics in the park. As the years went by, their children grew older and had families of their own. But the memories they made together in the dollhouse would always be special to them and would always be remembered fondly. I can't believe it's been so many years since we had our first child. They've all grown up so fast. Keiki, I know, it's hard to believe. It seems like just yesterday they were babies, and now they're adults with families of their own. And we've been so lucky to have such wonderful children. They're all so kind and caring, just like us, Keiki. It's true. We've been blessed with a beautiful family. I'm so proud of them and everything they've accomplished. Wait, what's that? Keiki. It looks like a rat, but it's much bigger than any rat I've seen before. Let's get a closer look. I think it's harmless. Let's try. Sally. Oh no, it's scared of us. Maybe we should just leave it alone. Oh my goodness, the rat just turned into a cat. Oh, look at him. He's so cute. Keiki. I know, but what's this potion he's drinking? It must have something to do with the transformation. We need to stop him before he finishes it. The cat seemed determined to stay in the dollhouse, even though he was clearly an outsider. Sally and Keiki didn't know what to make of this situation, but they were both intrigued by the little cat. They decided to let him stay for now, and they would figure out what to do with him later. As the night went on, they could hear the little cat exploring the dollhouse and getting into all kinds of mischief. Sally and Keiki decided to call the little cat Catrat because he was part cat and part rat. It was a fitting name, since he had a combination of both animal characteristics. Catrat was an unusual addition to the family, but he was also a very interesting one. Sally and Keiki couldn't help but be drawn to him and want to learn more about him. They were curious to see how he would fit into their family and what kind of adventures they would have together. Sally and Keiki had been so caught up in their new life with Catrat that they didn't even realize they were living in an abandoned house outside a toy dollhouse. It was a shocking revelation. But they were also intrigued by the idea of exploring this mysterious world outside. They couldn't help but wonder what else was out there, and they were eager to find out. They started to think about what they should do next and how they would handle this unexpected turn of events. Sally and Keiki were shocked to see a family walk through the front door downstairs. They had no idea anyone else lived there, and they didn't know what to make of the situation. The family was made up of a mom, a dad, and their daughter named Gabby. She was about the same age as Katrat, and she seemed very curious and excited about exploring the house. The parents were a bit more cautious, but they seemed friendly and open to meeting Sally and Keiki. Sally and Keiki realized that the family downstairs had no idea they were living in the house. They decided to stay hidden under the bed and watch the family from a distance. They were curious to see what the family was like and what their plans for the house were. It was a bit nerve-wracking, but they were also excited to see what would happen next. As days passed, the big humans had settled into the house and made it their own. They had cleaned up the house and added their own personal touches to it. Gabby was now an 11-year-old girl who had her own room upstairs and was enjoying her new home. The cats were still hiding under the bed, but they were getting more and more curious about the humans and their new environment. They couldn't help but wonder what would happen if they were discovered. Sally was thrilled to be having her final child, Baby Box. He was a creative little kitty who was full of energy and imagination. He was a lot like his older brothers and sisters, but he had his own unique personality and interests. Baby Box moved in with his mom and big brothers, and they all welcomed him into the family with open arms. Sally was so happy to have another child to love and care for, and she was excited to watch him grow up and discover the world around him. Unlike his siblings, Baby Box was very different. He was full of energy and had a lot of tantrums. He was also the only one who was actually a girl, but they didn't realize it until later. It was a bit of a surprise when they found out, but they still loved Baby Box just the same. They were patient and understanding with her, and they did their best to support her through all of her tantrums. Yes, it's true. Mercat, Pillowcat, Kitty Fairy, and Carlita were all girls. It was the day everyone had been waiting for. Gabby's 11th birthday. Her parents had found the toy dollhouse and the cats, and they decided to give it to her as a present. Gabby was so excited when she saw it, and she immediately fell in love with the dolls and the dollhouse. She couldn't wait to explore all the rooms and play with all the toys. She was especially interested in the cats, who she thought were so cute and playful. She had no idea that the cats were actually real, and she was in for a big surprise. Gabby's mom also gave her a plush cat named Pandy. Pandy was a very special cat with white fur and a black tummy and a black streak on the top of his right ear. Pandy was the perfect companion for Gabby, and she loved him dearly. She would spend hours playing with him and cuddling with him. He was her best friend, and she couldn't imagine life without him. When Gabby's parents finally left the room, she was excited to have some alone time with Pandy. She introduced herself to him and told him all about her life, her family, and her interests. She told him how much she loved playing with dolls and pretending she was a princess. Pandy couldn't talk back, but he listened intently and made her feel like she was the most important person in the world. Hey Pandy, I'm so excited that you're my new friend. I've always wanted a pet cat, and now I have one. You're so soft and fluffy, and I love your little black streak on your ear. What do you think of me? Do you think I'm a good friend? I promise I'll take good care of you and make sure you're always happy. I'm going to tell you all my secrets, and we'll have so much fun together. I can't wait to show you around the dollhouse and introduce you to all the other dolls. They're going to love you as much as I do. Gabby's actual cat, Floyd, walks into the room. He's a little bit jealous that Gabby is paying so much attention to Pandy and not him. Oh, I just love cats. Everything in my room is decorated with cats. I have a cat bed, a cat blanket, and even a cat lamp. And of course I have my own cat, Floyd. He's a bit grumpy sometimes, but I love him so much. He's my best friend. Yes, you're right. Gabby did say those exact words in the first episode of Gabby's Dollhouse. She said that she loved cats, and everything in her room was decorated with them. She also said that she had her own cat, Floyd, who was a little bit grumpy sometimes, but she loved him very much. Wait, did I just hear meows? I thought Floyd was in the living room, but now I'm hearing meows coming from somewhere else. That's so weird. The music of cats meowing was suddenly heard again, this time with a special cat mailbox appearing next to the toy dollhouse Gabby got for her birthday. Gabby was so confused and curious, she had to go over and see what was going on. She walked over to the mailbox and opened it up. Inside was a special card from her parents, along with a special gift. Gabby was shocked when she read the special gift. It was a letter from her parents. She read it eagerly, and her eyes lit up with joy as she took in the kind words from her parents. They told her how much they loved her and how proud they were of her. They also thanked her for being such a special girl and making this day so special for them too. Gabby read the card with so much joy and love in her heart. She couldn't believe how thoughtful her parents were, and she felt so grateful for all the love they had given her. She read the card over and over again, savoring every word and every memory it brought back to her. She felt so lucky to have parents who loved her so much and who always made her feel special. Gabby was so excited to see the cat headband on the back of the card. It was white with a black tip on the right ear, just like Pandy's. She couldn't believe it! Her parents had gotten her the perfect gift, and she felt so special and loved. The steps for wearing the headband were listed on the back of the card. It said, 1. Hold on tight to him. Gabby was a little bit confused by these instructions, but she wanted to try it anyway. She decided to follow the steps one by one and see what happened. Suddenly, Gabby was teleported into her toy dollhouse. She was now in a cartoonish form, and the cats who were now alive were terrified when they realized that it was the same girl from the outside house. Gabby was confused and a little bit scared herself, but she tried to stay calm and keep her composure. Wait, what's going on? Why am I in this cartoonish world, and why are you all alive? The cats were startled and confused when Gabby suddenly appeared in the dollhouse in her cartoonish form. They started to circle around her, hissing and growling. They seemed to be scared and angry, and they didn't seem to trust her at all. Gabby realized that the cats were scared and angry, and she wanted to try to calm them down. She slowly approached them and spoke in a soft and gentle voice. She told them that she wasn't going to hurt them, and she just wanted to know what was going on. The cats seemed to relax a bit, but they were still wary of her. Sally and Cakey noticed that Gabby was still scared and cold, and they wanted to make her feel more welcome. They invited her to come inside and sit down by the fire. They apologized for the confusion and told her that they were sorry for the inconvenience. They said that they would explain everything later, but for now, she just needed to relax and get warm. Gabby was shocked when Cakey and Sally told her that the cats were actually their children. She couldn't believe that the cats were actually living, breathing creatures and not just toys. She was also surprised to hear that they were afraid and angry at her. But she understood why. She was an outsider, and she had just appeared out of nowhere. It's nice to meet you, Gabby. My name is Sally, and this is my husband, Keiki. We're the parents of these cats here. You may have noticed that they're all alive, and that's because they're actually our children. This is our oldest child, Daniel James Catnip. But everyone just calls him DJ Catnip. He's the one with the blue stripes on his fur and the cat ears. And this is our second child, Mercat, who is a very special little cat. She has a tail that looks like a mermaid's tail, and she's very good at swimming and playing with water. This is our third child, Pillow Cat, who's very sweet and cuddly. She has a fluffy coat and loves to sleep in comfortable places. And this is our fourth child, Kitty Fairy. She's a very magical cat who loves to play with fairies and has a special gift for making people laugh. And this is our youngest child, Carlita. She's a very curious cat who loves exploring and finding new things. She's very good at solving problems and thinking outside the box. And finally, this is our fifth child, Daniel James Catnip's twin sister, Molly. She's very protective of her brother and loves to play with him. Molly is our adopted daughter, and we call her DJ Kitty Nip. She's very playful and loves to be with her brother. And finally, we have our last children, Katrat and Baby Box. Katrat is a little bit of a troublemaker, but he's also very brave and adventurous. Baby Box is our youngest child, and she's very creative and imaginative. Wow, you guys have so many children. It must be a lot of work to take care of all of them. Yeah, it can be a lot of work sometimes, but we wouldn't have it any other way. Our children are our world, and we love them all so much. We're just glad that they're all here together and that they have each other. Sally and Keiki decided to share their whole story with Gabby. They told her how they had met when they were both kids and how they had fallen in love. They had been together ever since, and they were so happy to have such a big family. They explained how they had found the toy dollhouse and the cats, and how they had turned it into their home. They told her about the magical world they had created and how much it meant to them. Gabby was surprised when she heard that she could talk to Pandy and the other cats when she was inside the dollhouse. She was excited to have a special secret place where she could play and talk to all of her friends without her parents knowing. She was also curious to know why she couldn't tell her parents about the dollhouse, but she decided not to ask too many questions for now. Don't tell your parents about the dollhouse. We don't want them to find out and ruin everything. It's our special place where we can all play and have fun together. The cats were still a bit wary of Gabby at first, but they soon realized that she was a nice person and they started to warm up to her. They were all excited to have a new friend and someone else to play with. They were especially fond of her because she was so kind and gentle with them. They started to follow her around and play with her, and they even started to call her their big sister because she was so much older than they were. Sally and Keiki thought it would be a fun idea to call their children the Gabby Cats. They thought it would be a cute way to show how much they loved Gabby and how much she meant to them. They were excited to have a new nickname for their children and to make Gabby feel like a part of the family. Gabby was so excited to be able to enter the dollhouse whenever she wanted. She couldn't wait to explore the magical world inside and spend time with all her friends. She made sure to keep the headband and pandy close by, and she always made sure to say the magic words that her parents had given her whenever she wanted to go inside. She felt like she had a secret world all to herself, and she loved it. Sally and Cakey were both smiling at Gabby as she left to explore the dollhouse. They were so happy that she had become such a big part of their family, and that she loved the dollhouse as much as they did. They told her to have fun and to make sure she came back soon. And that's the story of how Gabby discovered the dollhouse and became a part of the Gabby Cat's world. She's had so much fun exploring the dollhouse and playing with all her new friends. But now she's ready to take her adventures to the next level. She's been working on a new show that's coming out on Netflix this year, and she can't wait to share it with everyone. That's right. We wanted to share the whole story behind Gabby's Dollhouse, because the show is about to celebrate its 10th season on Netflix. It's been an incredible journey for Gabby and her friends, and we're excited to share it with everyone. The epilogue is that Gabby and her friends have grown up and become adults, but they still love the dollhouse and all the memories they made there. They have moved on to new adventures and challenges, but they always come back to the dollhouse when they need a little bit of magic in their lives. They're all still very close, and they will always be the Gabby Cat.